Okay, so it's like late, but I kind of want to do a story time because I think life is super interesting in the ways that, everything that you thought you wanted to do doesn't mean that it's necessarily for you. And for example, I moved to New York about like a year and a half ago, and I was just so excited because all my life I've always wanted to be an actor, I've always wanted to model, and like I've always wanted to do all of those things, right? And I do still love modeling and I still love doing all those things, but I was working corporate, excuse the loudness outside, I hope that doesn't bother you too bad. I say with like 20 subscribers, by the way. But I was working a corporate job, and I don't like corporate in general. Like, I never will be. That's just not who I am. I can't sit down for a long time and sit behind a computer. It's just not me. Some people can do it. I just cannot. I don't get any sort of excitement from it. But I appreciate it. I learned a lot from it. And then after I had like a chunk of time to like, invest in being like an actor or a model, and I weirdly like didn't. Like I went through such a long time feeling just like utterly lost and confused because I was kind of like, why can't I like do these things? Like I felt like the earth, like I was constantly getting rejected. I felt like I wasn't hearing anything back from like all the things that I was applying to and reaching out to, and like obviously that builds on me and weighs me down a little bit and weighs my energy down a little bit. But it's not like I didn't think that I had the capacity to do it. I feel like the world has a weird way of like getting more outside, has a weird way of turning you around and trying to make you realize what you actually want. Because I think in theory that's what I wanted, but it's like not actually. Because when I had the opportunity then to do it, it wasn't really working out for me. The world wasn't like letting me know that this was like a smooth path for me to go down. And it wasn't like, oh, I need to work harder. Like, no, I was getting like tired and resentful from it. And I feel like if I actually had a passion for it, I would have gotten exhilarated to do it, but it did the opposite. Like, I genuinely was like not motivated to do those things anymore, like at all. And I felt like that was the world's way of being like, you don't really want this, like you want it in theory. And so that was really interesting for me. And during that time, I was so confused, and I was writing all the time about it, like all of these things. Like I have a Substack, but I wrote My Opponent Has My Face, which kind of had to do with the fact that I've always had a very secure sense of self, a pride in myself, and all the things that I've accomplished, and then realizing that all the things that I've accomplished has been for other people or a version of me that is higher than me, because I'm not proud of the version that I am right now. And that was a harsh reality for me to sit in, because I was like, damn, what is all of this work that I've been doing then on self-love and like this hard work? Like, who has it been for? If it's not for me, then who has it been for? Because it was like for a version of me that I wanted to be. It wasn't like actually me. And that was something that was hard for me to sit through. Really long time, kind of depressive. And I think that being lost in your 20s is such an umbrella term for actually the amount of complexity that's going on in yourself during that time. It's hard. Like, you're not lost. You're literally killing parts of yourself off that you've literally been trying to learn to love, but maybe for something else, not even for your own self, like maybe just for the gratification of it all. Like, I don't know, that was kind of my reality or my realization in a way. But I started writing all the time and kind of talking about this and journaling about it 24/7, because I was like, damn, like, do I not really want what I've said that I've wanted? And obviously I don't, because I have no motivation to do any of it, even though I've been begging for this life for like my entire life. Like, ever since I was a little kid, that's all I've been dreaming of, right? Like, so now I'm finally here, and I've worked so hard for it, and then I'm like, meh. I don't know, maybe it was my frontal lobe developing and being like, no, bitch, you don't want this. But so oddly, I've had like a really hard time speaking in front of a camera. Also, a lot of my life, I found myself not to be the most articulate person in the world. I've always written so much better. Like, I swear, in comparison to how I write and how I talk, they're two different people. But you can see the correlation between them and the way that my mind works. But like, they sound like very two different people. Writing takes time and patience. Like, speaking's on demand. So I'm not really fully thinking before I'm saying something completely. I'm learning in real time with the person I'm talking to what I'm necessarily saying. But with writing, it's like that takes time. I can think about what I want to say and I can articulate myself in a certain way. Like, my writing is genuinely, I've always viewed it to be stronger than my voice. But they are the same thing. And I think through that time of surrendering and like what that time called for me to do, which was like to radically surrender myself and like not force myself to do anything. And I had a moment where I was like, damn, who am I if I'm not doing anything? Like, who am I if I'm not feeding the system? Like, and that was a harsh reality, but that's even a privilege to be able to sit there for a moment and be able to do that, which I'm forever grateful for. And I was like, damn, yeah, I want to do something for me. I don't want to keep like killing myself for a version of me that deserves my own love. Like, that's so crazy. But yeah, so anyways, back with my voice. With that time of surrendering like radically, and that was a scary moment. It was a really sad moment, scary. I like suddenly just started speaking and filming myself and like writing way more and thinking in real time through YouTube shorts or anything that would help with my writing pieces and stuff. And I was like, damn, this is more of what I meant to do, because I get something out of it, even if nobody sees it. Like, I can like my own post. I'm like, that's damn near enough. Like, I don't mind not getting a bunch of people to like to give me an applaud anymore. And it kind of makes me emotional, because it's taken a long time to get here. I think it takes a long time for anybody to get there, because I feel like when you've built your entire life on being impressive, when you're not impressive to anyone, even yourself, it's like, damn, it's utter failure. And it's like, then what is worthy of love? And it should be unconditional, and it's important for you to remind yourself of that. Your love for yourself should be unconditional, just like your love should be unconditional for partners and, family and stuff like that. Like, just because you aren't the most impressive person in the world and not the best person in the room or working 5 jobs doesn't mean that you're not worthy of love, Like, you deserve, love even in silence, just like you deserve love even with making mistakes. But so that was like a beautiful moment for me, because now every ounce of my creativity doesn't feel performative. I'm not doing it to like appeal to the audience. I'm not following an algorithm. I'm not following, the sharp, refined script of a Substack essay. It's like, no, I'm writing like full blown, like borderline short books on Substack. I'm like, okay, like, and same with YouTube. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna go completely above and beyond to like try to reach people. I think things will reach people that are meant to reach them. Like, my favorite videos ever are the ones that borderline have no views, that somebody was just speaking as like, this is meant to find you and it's meant to find you. And I'm like, damn right it did. Damn right it did. Like, things are meant to find you when they are supposed to. And I'm not meant to just be a fake person on the television screen. I think my reality and who I'm meant to be is actually the most real person ever in front of the screen. And that is usually speaking, that's voice, and saying how I'm feeling. My opinions are certain things, and that helps me out with writing always. So just an interesting thing. It's important to realize everything that you've ever wanted, to sit there and strip it away and ask why you even want it in the first place. Is it because other people want it for you and they love you, so you view that as like you need to do it or you have to do it? Same with yourself. Like, ask yourself, is it something that I actually want to do, or is it something that it to do to make me feel better in myself, because right now I feel horrible. Because I think a good way of separating that is like, you will naturally do it. You won't feel forced to do it if it's meant for you, I think. And you won't feel like tired or drained. It just happens. And obviously easier said than done. It takes a certain amount of patience, but I thought that I would make this video just in case anybody else out there who's applying for jobs right now, figuring out what they want in their 20s. Like, remember, it really isn't a sprint. Nobody's going to take your path away from you. What is meant to find you will simply find you. And I don't even know what's happening for me yet. Yes, like I figured out that I like to use my voice, and this is what doesn't tire me, or this is something that I naturally do without even much thought. I still don't know where I'm going to be in a year. I still don't know where this is going to take me. I just finally got a job. Yay! After like months, which is something that's worth being proud of in general, even though at first I thought it was a regression because it wasn't as high up as the jobs that I was doing. I was like, oh. But I think that's a good thing. I think that's a really, really good thing, honestly. And so yeah, if you're somebody going through this hard time of the 20s and figuring out what you want, just take time with yourself and strip everything away. Always block out the noise, block out the race of it all. When you do your things in your own lane, there is no competition. Nobody can do you better. And I know that sounds cheesy and that sounds redundant, but it's true. So always listen to that. Always listen to your heart and what you want, actually. And I know that takes a certain amount of time. And we live in a pretty fast-paced world. So just always remember to ground yourself so that you can listen to yourself. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed my little short story time. Again, I have a Substack. I have an Instagram that's right here. Of course, if there's anything that you want to add to this, please do. Like I said, a lot of the stuff, the videos that I make, I turn into writing pieces, and I've loved when people comment stuff because it really helps me with my writing pieces, and I like to add those in. And I would love the expansion. If there's anything that you agree with, your own personal story that you want to add, like, please do in the comments below. I really would appreciate that. I would love to have a community on here. So yeah, have a good one.